What's going on, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and say this. I've made a couple videos involving other states or, messed up things that happen in other states, other countries, this, that, and the other. And I've never really thrown any dirt on Mississippi. And yeah, I'm from here, okay? Or I live here anyway. And, normally not a lot of stories really break the headlines and get viral that much. So after accidentally running across one, I decided I'd go ahead and use it because it's actually new. And his court date's actually like 2 days. Well, at the time of recording, 2 days. So once this is uploaded, it's going to be tomorrow. So I may or may not do an update if anything happens. But just to let you know, basically, I'm going to also have to use a word that I used to use quite often in a comedic sense of taking people to Pound Town. I'm going to have to actually use that to get around a little bit of censors here and go ahead and say, the guy took his dog to Pound Town. I'd just go ahead and rip it off like a Band-Aid now. Yeah, he did that. It's pretty gross. It's super messed up. But basically, the guy I'm talking about name's Tristan Pipkin, okay? This is the guy. This is his face. Remember it. Hate it. You do with what you want to do with that information. I'm not here to, I'm not here to tell you what to do, and I'm not going to condone anything. But, I can't stop you. The guy's from Horn Lake. He's accused of having stuff with a dog, has been indicted by a grand jury. DeSoto County District Attorney. Hey, fun fact, in DeSoto County, my uncle got arrested. Yeah, running drugs. I have a great family. But back on it. Matthew Barton confirms that Tristan Pipkin, 26, faces up to a decade in prison if convicted for his alleged role in committing bestiality. Pipkin was arrested by law enforcement in early February. Horn Lake police report seizing evidence that include footage of sexual encounter between the suspect and the canine. So here's my thing. It seems like any type of criminal is just an absolute moron. Usually when you commit crimes, you don't record it, but it just seems like no one can just leave things alone. First off, you shouldn't be doing that to a dog. Let me just go ahead and get that right off the rip before anybody gets that confused. Second, recording crimes, only the stupid people do it. Luckily he did, because now we get to have, they get to use that against him. See, it's perfectly fine to sleep with your animals. Just don't put your dick in them. It's that simple. I don't know how hard it is to wrap your head around. There's just a few things, a few rules, okay, for Pound Town, all right? Literally the three major ones is going to be nobody related to you, no children, no animals. And, obviously somebody that's unconscious. Okay, let's all be real here. But the three major rules is real easy to follow, okay? Don't be related. Don't be an animal. Don't be underage. Simple, easy. Everybody should be able to follow that. But I guess somebody didn't get the memo. I don't know how somebody could do this to an animal at all. I myself own 2 cats, and they are absolutely spoiled. I cannot do enough for them, apparently. Anytime I go to lay down in my living room, not even lay down, just recline. All of a sudden, here comes 2 fat lap cats. All they want to do is lay down and take a nap. We are perfectly in sync when it comes to that. If it's time for me to take a nap and lay down in my recliner, they are ready for it. And I can't imagine anyone abusing their animals like this. And, they did get it out of his care, luckily, because he also posted bond, which I don't know anybody that would have bonded him out. So I assume he bonded himself out or he lied to a family member to get bonded out. Which all this is going to come crumbling under him, crashing down pretty much. It's going to crumble out from under him and crash down when everything goes to court, because it goes to court the 20th. Now, the DA was quoted saying, "We take all forms of abuse, including animal abuse, with the utmost seriousness. Cruelty cases involving pets are disturbing at their core, but this one is particularly repulsive. We will work tirelessly to ensure justice is served here." And then it goes on to say what I've already said, which is he bonded out and the animal's been removed, which... I don't know. I think at this point in time, even thinking about it, trying to process it, there's not enough, years that he's going to get. Okay, a lot of these are taken so lightly, basically. I know the DA is saying what he's saying, but, if you really look into it, a lot of these cases, they don't really amount to much. Yeah, he'll go to jail, but for how long, really? He just traumatized an animal for life. And it takes a lot of training, a lot of specialized training that, not everybody has, to try to handle an animal who is probably going to be traumatized and could be snappy, snippy, whatever you want to call it, at people, especially if they try to reintroduce them into a household. If you've ever seen some of these feel-good videos, where not all the time does it work, but the feel-good videos of the ones where they, cats, for instance, which is usually what I see, is where they have a very, feral-like cat, when usually they're not feral, but they just came from an abusive home. And you'll see them take months in rehabilitating them back into being civilized, essentially, with people. And I've seen, there was one recently that I watched. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could. You may be able to comment it down below and you'll be able to tell other people what it is if you know what I'm talking about. But there was a video of a lady trying her best to rehabilitate a cat. I don't remember the circumstances, but it was a little older, not 10, 15 years old, but a couple years old. And even trying to open up the cat carrier, the cat tried to attack her. And then the cat constantly would attack her. She could never get around her, or the cat. I can't remember if it's male or female, but constantly trying to get affection. Well, then by the end of it, even still attacking here and there, the cat would come up and just slowly try to inch their way towards the person rehabilitating, and finally started laying down on her. Now, it took months, and I actually kept up with it while it was going on. And by the end of it, the cat actually ended up doing what's pretty much called making biscuits, okay? By the end of it, making biscuits, constantly purring, was completely okay with people. I don't know if the adoptees or the adopters, had the same reaction with the cat, but that was pretty much a foster trying to rehabilitate the cat to be back into, a person's home. Because whatever it was, whatever type of abuse, traumatized the cat. And I can only imagine what this dog is going to have to deal with and what the people are going to do to rehabilitate it. Now, hopefully it'll be easy, a good transition. The dog, if you ever see dogs that don't understand kindness, that's what I'm going to assume is going to happen here. It really scares them. That's actually really, heartbreaking to know that somebody could do that. Like I said, I have my two cats, my two absolute banes of existence, okay? They are literally like a pain in my ass. And every single time I go to, get in my recliner to lay down, those two fat asses decide to lay down with me, I, for some reason, just feel like everything's okay. And I don't know how people can do this, okay? Animals are literally the only thing we have that is about the closest to being normal as I can see people being. And to abuse that because they're just innocent is beyond me. Now, I'm hoping it's some way they're going to throw the book at them, give them every year for every little thing. I don't care if it's an unpaid library book, okay? I'm hoping somewhere they find every ticket of speeding, running a stop sign, rolling a stop sign, throwing chewing gum on the sidewalk. I hope they get them for literally every little thing. Because, like I said, not enough years are going to go into a sentence. I know. We'll see how court goes the 20th. I'm not probably going to do an update. I thought there would be a big enough one. I'll probably do an update on Twitter or something, which is probably going to be the most convenient spot to do an update. Post a link to his entire charges if you want to continue on with that, because I doubt it'd be long enough for an entire video. But basically, I want to keep up with this just to see what happens to him. There's probably going to be a few videos going forward where if it's a big enough charge, very recent type deal, I'll probably post a follow-up link to their charges if I ever cover something again to my Twitter. So if you don't know what it is, it's definitely linked, I think, down below in the description. If not, go to the main channel page and you'll see it up there. You're going to definitely probably get a chuckle at my childish humor because the name is is Front Butt, just because I have childish humor. But yeah, guys, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.